It's the 4th of July. Although this video probably will not be released on the 4th of July. So I probably should have told you that. Destroying the illusion over here. Welcome to another REDUX video. If you don't know what that is, it's a segment on my channel where I review a lot of the common ideas and comments from a previous video. It's sort of a continuation of the conversation. Today we're going to look at some of the common questions and ideas from my video, WTF is heterosexual pride? Okay, one comment that I got a lot was people were claiming that it was just all a joke and I was taking it too seriously and I fed the trolls, yada yada yada. And I do admit that a lot of it was trolling and a lot of people think that it was started as a joke. But unless the competence and skill of trolls has like increased tenfold over the past couple years, I'm pretty sure a good bit of it was genuine and real. And this sentiment of heterosexual pride and things like white pride and pride of privileged groups, this is a sentiment that has been expressed before lots of times. So even if this particular campaign was a troll, it's still something worth talking about. But I don't think it was all a big joke. I think there were a lot of people that were actually very serious about it. Like, have you ever been on Twitter? Twitter is full of crazy people. Okay, another comment that I got a bunch was people were basically like, well, heterosexual pride and the idea of it may not be that rational, but it's not hurting anybody, so who cares? I have to disagree with you there, because in a society that is unequal, it is important to point out where privilege is. And an idea like heterosexual pride in response to an LGBT pride, I think that only serves to hide privilege. It implies that the two groups are in the same boat and they have the same level of experiences, which is just not the case. It basically diminishes or belittles the struggles that the LGBT groups face. Like I said in the main video, the idea of heterosexual pride misses the entire point. These groups of people have basically been treated as second-class citizens and continue to be so. So when you look at them and you're like, me too, you're belittling that, because if you're a straight person, you're not treated as a second-class citizen systematically for being straight. There's also a lot of pushback to the use of the term pride, because the word pride can have a negative connotation. A lot of times when we hear the word pride, we think of like an inflated sense of self-worth. I think the issue here is that the word pride is kind of a complex term. It has a couple of different related definitions that sort of interact with each other sometimes, but they also split apart at certain times. There's the pride, like the 7 deadly sin version of pride, which could be considered synonymous with the word hubris, and that's basically an excessive sense of self-worth. And then there's pride, which is sort of a sense of satisfaction in your accomplishments and things like that. And then there's national and ethnic pride in that category of pride, which is when you feel a positive connection to a group, either because you admire it or you think it's cool or it informs your identity. And then there's pride in yourself as just being happy with yourself, basically the opposite of shame. And that's basically what we're talking about here. And I think it's a good thing for everyone to have pride in themselves. But when you apply that to a group of people, when people are made to be ashamed of themselves for their connection to a certain group, that's when these pride movements occur as a counter mechanism to that. And privileged groups just don't experience that same type of shaming and systematic oppression. Pride can refer to different things, and it's wrong to try to come up with some singular definition that just covers everything. You gotta make sure you're paying attention to the context whenever someone is using the word pride. Okay, lastly, an idea that was shared quite a bit is, well, some people were basically saying, but wait a minute, like straight cis people do get attacked. Haven't you ever been on Tumblr? And here, I think we need to just be realistic about what we're comparing here. Like a teenager calling you a name on the internet being compared to being fired from your job because you're gay. Like, it's just not even in the same plane of existence. If we're gonna include any type of teasing or name calling as oppression, then you can argue that all groups of people are oppressed. It's just not a useful way to talk about it. And you have to realize how you sound when you say this. I'm upset because they're calling me names. I want a pride movement because they're hurting my feelings. Like, no, we're not talking about calling people names. We're talking about systematic long-term disadvantages. We're talking about things that affect the opportunities and well-beings of a person just because of their connection to a certain group. It's not even in the same universe. And in fact, it's pretty insensitive and rude to compare the two things. Like, yeah, you know, LGBT people have a disproportionately high rate of homelessness and suicide. Yeah, but I got called a cishet scum on Tumblr. Same thing, right? No, it's not. Anyway, those were kind of the main themes of the comments, and feel free to continue the discussion below. If you'd like to direct any more questions or comments to me, feel free to email me at hello@theonejanitor.com. Leave me ideas for new videos in the comments, and subscribe if you like my hair. Thank you once again for watching my video. For those that don't know, I'm a full-time YouTube creator, and the only way that I'm able to do that is through your support, and a large portion of that support comes through Patreon. Now, Patreon is a crowdfunding site for people like me with ongoing creative projects. It's kind of like an online tip jar where you can set it up to donate just a couple bucks every time I make a new video. So if you find any value in my channel or my videos, or if you just want to support me, please consider signing up for Patreon. That would be super amazing and totally appreciated. But even if you don't feel like it, or if you can't, that's fine too. I just think